All right, welcome everybody to ATS Live. I think we're officially into our 20th session of doing these every Wednesday. I've got a couple of special guests that I was fortunate to run into today. So I've got Will and his wife Tina. So Will and Tina, thank you for joining ATS Live.
No problem.
So this is ATS Live, Ask Us Anything. Listen, I know the first couple of minutes of these, we're kind of waiting for folks to get joined in, so I start out a little bit slow, but what I really like is the fact that we record these, and a lot of the comments that we get on these after the fact, when we're done tonight, whether that's in 30 minutes or that's in 45 minutes, do understand, hello Sam, we do understand that we are paying attention to the comments coming in, so we will always answer every question. So we call this ATS Live, Ask Us Anything. The sole purpose of what we're doing on these is to make sure that we have a very transparent platform to be able to talk to active drivers, to be able to talk to candidate drivers coming in.
Right.
And so the more questions we get, frankly, the more of what I'm trying to do here is coming through. So again, Will, Tina, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for the last minute acceptance of coming on board. So
Not a problem.
I will tell you guys, I think you guys have all seen it. Anybody who watches these, we don't script a thing. We show up, say, what do we want to talk about? And we try to get a little bit of messaging out. So tonight, we're going to have a little bit of fun. Chad, good to see you, buddy. Your mug's on the way. Sean, Paul, thanks for joining. Jerry. So again, I'm just going to kind of take some time to wait for folks to start coming in. I sometimes fall behind on the questions because we start getting into some good discussions that are going on. Hello, new driver, enjoying second week as a van driver. All right, so you are a new driver. So Ben, welcome aboard and congratulations on week 2.
For real.
So, Will, how many years have you been here?
Next week be 6.
6 years.
Yep.
So August of 2016. And you and I remember each other on your first day, don't we?
Oh yeah, we do.
We won't talk college football, you guys. Well, we do because we're from the same team.
Yeah.
And then, Tina, your story is obviously you guys are husband and wife.
Yes.
And you were doing escorts with Anderson Trucking when you first, when Will first came over.
Yes.
But then you joined in 2017 and are also in our flatbed specialized. So
Driving as well.
Yeah.
Driving as well. So Will and Tina, they are a team. So they're both completely certified Class A, or basically first seat and second seat as team drivers with us. I'm going to take a little bit of time to talk about. By the way, hey Lindsay, I'm going to take a little bit of time tonight talking about realistically what is the career path. So you guys saw the introduction. I really want to have Will and Tina talking a lot tonight, and so I'm going to be asking a lot of open-ended questions.
Okay.
So Will came on board with us. He was with a couple of flatbed specialized carriers prior to coming to Anderson Trucking.
Right.
And we're always looking for that experience.
Right.
And Tina, you were pretty much brand new to open deck flatbedding, weren't you?
No.
What were you doing? I can't ask you who you work for, but you did have some flatbed experience.
Yes.
But if I understand it right, we had enough verified with you, Will, to where we were able to move you up a little bit faster in class.
Right.
But you had started almost like a brand new flatbed.
New as flatbed, yes.
Yep.
Because it had been a while with me
Okay.
with flatbed.
So for the folks that are watching, I'm going to just ask you to say this in your own words. So you guys have both gotten used to our classification system.
Yes.
So let's say you're a driver and you've got tractor, your tractor trailer CDL. You've been pulling over the road. You've been working for one of our competitors, Prime, Swift, whoever, Mercer, Lone Star. It doesn't matter who it is.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
But you've got 6 months, 8 months of over the road tractor trailer experience, but you've been pulling a box, and you decide that you want to get into oversized open deck freight.
Right.
Tell me about your experience with Anderson Trucking, and maybe in your own words that you would think would help a new driver of kind of how the system works and how it's worked for the two of you.
Well, like you said, I come in here with the experience and everything. But what I like is that when you get into the open deck business is that you need to keep an open mind, always watch other drivers and what they do, and some things maybe they can be helpful when you watch them and stuff, but always keep an open mind. When I come here, that's what I did, because every company does everything different because they have reasons of why they do things, and because in the past they've had equipment break and maybe load shifted or something, those lines. That's what I liked when I went to the through the securement training. And Charlie, he does an excellent job of explaining things and making you feel comfortable and doing stuff. And I can't stress enough that when you first start out, I mean, it's not how fast you get your load done and everything. It doesn't matter. Just get it done. Do it right. Take your time. Everything else will flow. And yeah, I mean, it's just it was great.
So let me ask you. So Tina, you came as a class 4.
Yes.
And so everybody who's watching, and I'm gonna kind of get caught up. Sam, come here. I want you to, everybody to see you in the background real quick. You can squeeze in behind. So this is Sam. She takes care of all my technology behind the screens, but we're getting quite a few questions coming up, and I'm following behind a little. Okay.
Keep you on it.
So good deal. So I'm gonna go back there, but I think it's really important on the front of this because our topic of the day was just, a lot of drivers get confused that they hear that we don't train. We don't train brand new CDL drivers, folks. We don't have CDL truck school, and then we put you with the trainer, and then we get you we're just not that company. We're looking for the experience. We're looking for the folks that have made the commitment to the lifestyle of what we're doing, and frankly, we don't want to go through that kind of turnover. That's why we pay attention to that. So you came on board, so brand new flatbedder. Again, we do train drivers to learn how to be flatbedders. And so Tina, you came in, even though you had some experience, you came through our securement training program and kind of moved up in the classes already. So you were one step ahead of her, right?
Yes.
But I'm going to ask you, Tina, in your words, so you've moved along the path to where you guys are both right on the line of going into heavy haul, if you wanted to. You guys can go.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Right? And that's cool.
Yeah.
So tell your story from class 4 to class 3 to class 2, and you guys can do this together.
Right.
But realistically, kind of tell folks how that works and how that moves around here at ATS.
Well, you start at class 4. It's just, I would say, not basic heavy haul, but you're not doing a lot of wide loads. You start out minimum. You get, I think it was 5 in the beginning. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Yep. You got to pull 5
5
loads at each next
At
class
each
level.
yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as far as the training, when you first start out the securement training, it's not actually a long process of training. You go into the bay. I think you're there for a day. You take a written test and you do hands-on securement.
So you get the basic knowledge of what you need to do. But like I said earlier, when you get out there and you're new to it, just take your time. That's all they want you to do is take your time. Don't rush. Get things right. Like I said, sometimes as you progress, with your experience, you'll catch other drivers doing different things and give it a try. That's what I've done sometimes. Sometimes the way they secure, which is the right way, but it's a lot easier. It might benefit you. But as for a class, the best thing I could suggest about moving up in class is you got to get with your fleet manager. You got to let them know, say, hey, any oversized loads coming up, let me know.
So you want to tell them that your clear goal is to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for all you guys watching that don't know ATS, and again, this platform is for drivers who are looking at ATS as an option. You might be kicking tires on what flatbed carrier or what van carrier. And remember, you guys, we got a van division too. So we're talking a lot about flatbed specialized, but we clearly have got a division the exact same size of 53-foot drag trailers. So there are some folks that just don't want to throw chains and tarps, and
that's okay.
Yep, it's exactly right. So
that's okay.
We've got equal programs on both sides. We might be going too fast on the classification, so let me back up a second.
Okay.
So on the very first, when you made a commitment to come to ATS and you wanted to come in the open deck and learn the specialized, the oversized, you guys came to our orientation, and clearly we've got some days that are committed to the training. How was your experience with that? So you've never, just assume that you've never pulled an open deck trailer. Tell folks a little bit about what you kind of experienced for those couple of days, and maybe what kind of separates us from the other carriers that you worked with when it came to the training for doing securement training.
Simple. There are no stupid questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You guys will answer them as best you can, especially with securements and stuff. And another thing that I know some of y'all thinking about tarping. They also have if you never tarped anything, they have a training day for tarping and go through the basics and how to do folds and stuff like that. But as you progress, I mean, you'll learn how to do it a lot better and watch other guys how they tarp and how they fold. It may work out a lot better. But yeah, it's just great how you guys, how ATS orientation and then through the training, trying to make us feel comfortable. That's the word.
And that's a great. Thanks for saying that, because I was just going to ask you the question. At any time, as being new to ATS, and Will, you moved along the ranks, and Tina, so have you. So I've got to tell you. So Will has came on board as a Class 3, so he got kind of promoted once. But he's gone from a Class 3 to a Class 2 to a Class 1 to a Class 1A. Mm-hmm. And once you become a Class 1A at Anderson Trucking, you can then qualify to apply to get into a 4-axle truck and join our heavy haul division.
Right.
And then you can go from basically 6-axle all the way up to 19-axle. So that's a whole new tier to get to. But not everybody wants to do that. So the big thing, we got a lot of drivers that have been with us for 30 years that are Class 1As, and they never made that jump. Right. They like the 3-axle truck and so forth. But coming back to the pace of it, at any time did you ever feel like we were just trying to push you through the system?
Never. That's one thing I loved about it. It's move at your own pace. If you want to go faster, then just communicate that with your fleet manager and say, hey, I want to do this as quick as I can, move up as quick and as safely as I can. And as long as you're doing everything following the process that they want and following your permits and local and state laws, of course, no damages nowhere, no tickets, everything moves pretty smoothly.
And also
fast.
The most thing I liked about here is that I've been, like you said, I've been to a few flatbed companies, and what I really liked is I call it the Red Bible, because it's the permit book where it has all the curfews and what is it? What else about the book? I'm forgetting.
So basically, it doesn't allow you to cross any of those lines, and I think basically it gives you the answer, so it doesn't leave you stranded, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, actually, like Illinois has lots of provisions. Mm-hmm. It's actually basically the provision book, because a lot of
curfews.
Yes, because when you get your permits, so a lot of times they'll say revert to the provisions, and that's what I like about it, because a lot of companies don't have that. They don't have that book that you give us for all the provisions, and especially for California and what they expect and
you guys, really quick, I'm going to pause a second, okay, because we got a lot of questions coming up.
Yeah,
and this is a lot about it. So Jason, you're saying how is orientation, and I don't come until August 16th. So that's really the day after tomorrow. I don't know. Are you coming up? Can you do lease purchase on dry van?
Yes.
So Jason, you've got 2 questions. So I'm going to try to hit them both. But of course you can. So we basically have 4 positions that we recruit for. We've got the lease purchase program, and if I'm not mistaken, Will and Tina, you guys came in under a 1-year program, and you guys are now in a long-term where you own your truck.
Right.
Yes.
Right? And so you guys are, and what year is your truck that you're in right now?
2020 Volvo.
2020 Volvo. Mm-hmm. So you did your first 1-year lease, and then did you do a second one before you made this step, or did you go right into?
Yeah, I got into a Peterbilt and leased that one for another 3 years, and I just kept leasing it. And then we wanted something with a little more room.
Well, and I'm going to jump in. So to answer your question, Jason, so bottom line is, how is orientation? Frankly speaking, if you're coming in lease, you're going to come to our corporate office. If you're going to do company, you're going to go down to our new facility in Porter. And I'll tell you is that the first 3 days is typically your standard, doing a road test, doing all the paperwork. You're going to do you're going to go in and go through your classes for, like securement training doesn't start till the latter part. Right. But you're going to talk to settlements, and you're going to talk to a lot of folks within our safety department. You're going to do your physicals, drug and alcohol testing. So it's usually a 3 to a 4 day process. For our van drivers, it's only a 3-day process. For our flatbed specialized drivers, it's about a 4.5 day process. And the additional is because of the securement training that you guys stayed around for.
And I see he's got a question about securement. Well, when you do securement training, you got several things that you work on. They'll have a trailer set up with a cable reel on it. They'll have a small empty container. they'll have a big piece of granite, and half of crane boom, and then you just practice. That's all it is. It's basically you're just practicing. But Charlie will go through everything and show you how to do all that.
And I want to go back to Luis too. So Luis, on your question, so here's the bottom line. So I've got 2 drivers here that have been through this, but I can't stress this enough. Charlie, you keep hearing Charlie's name. Charlie's been with us for a very long time. He's our number 1 trainer. He's got a staff of 5 people, so it's not just Charlie. We've got a group that will cover our drivers 24/7, and we've actually got something called a picture program. And so you're coming on by for the first time, Luis. We're going to take you through school. We're going to take you, and it's not going to be just jumping outside and, hey, here's how you throw a chain, here's how you throw a strap. We're going to go through the mathematics of it all. So no matter what load you're walking up to, you know exactly, okay, how do I need to tie this down? But when you're not certain, number 1, I think you guys will confirm that you guys aren't sure. You've got a group of other peers to say, hey, guys, this is new to me. Anybody got any suggestions?
Exactly.
You have safety to go to,
Right.
but you guys work together a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And even with my experience, I've taken pictures of some of my securements and sent them in and see if it was okay. Because I mean, you can't come in here knowing everything, because to me makes you untrainable, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah, because we learn every day as truck drivers, as human. You learn something different every single day, something new everywhere you go.
Yeah, and that's so important. And again, for the new drivers, because I don't think people realize that pulling a 10-foot wide load, it's a 10-foot wide load, but when you start getting to a point like in Anderson Trucking, where it could be 10-foot wide, but it can also be, 14 and a half feet tall. It can be 80 feet long.
Yes.
It can be 100,000 pounds. When those variables start coming in, there's a lot of moving parts. And so not everybody and their brother they get to a point where they say, I'm not comfortable anymore. But would you agree that you guys have the right to say, if you want to go, that additional training's coming, but that we never try to force, like, hey, we got this 14-foot wide load. We really need you guys to take it. I know you haven't done it before, but are you cool with doing it? Have you ever had anything like that happen before?
Yeah.
And what'd you do?
I took it.
Okay.
I took it. I mean,
Did you feel forced? I think the real question was, do you think it was your choice?
It was my
Absolutely.
choice, but I went ahead and took it. I mean, to me, go big or go home. Yeah, that's just me. But if you're uncomfortable with it, I mean, if
I was an idiot to ask you that question, Will.
I'm just saying though. I mean, for some people, if you're not ready, you're not ready. Just
Right.
be truthful with them. Just, I'm not ready for something like that. I need a little more time. That's fine. They'll be like, okay, no problem. And they're not going to make you feel bad, or try to force you to do it or anything along those lines. So, I mean,
Or say you got to do it, or you got to go home.
yeah.
And
Am I all caught up or not?
No, you're not caught up.
So Chris, bottom line, thanks for calling out Jimmy. And at the end of the day, listen, one of the biggest things that I love, so I talked to, and so like Don, Mr. Neil, you're in class this week, but we've had a chance to do some talking I've been able to talk to some of the drivers that are in orientation this week. And what I really like is how much they're saying that they just have not been deceived. That they've just, whatever we were telling them was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
There weren't a bunch of surprises, and that folks are just really trying to help you guys get what you need in the toolbox to be successful with us, right?
Yeah.
absolutely.
But that's a huge deal. So thanks for that call out, and Don, appreciate your comment is there as well.
They keep calling out Jimmy. Got a new star here. So he also had Jimmy as a recruiter.
Good. Well, we love hearing that. And at the end of the day, you guys, it's I think I've got one of the absolute best recruiting teams ever. I tried to retire last year, and I told my recruiters, as long as I can keep this team, I'll stick around a little bit longer. But at the end of the day, listen, long story short is, you guys, on this whole topic, I really don't want to miss anything. So walking through the story of becoming a flatbedder, or at least coming on board with a flatbedder with Anderson Trucking, just for the group real quick, I want to give you an idea. So like, you come through an orientation and people are asking, what is it like? So you're going to do day one, which is, again, a lot of paperwork, road testing and physicals and drug tests and picking trucks and all that stuff. Day two is typically contractor services, settlement, safety. It's a lot of presentation things. You get into Wednesday, your first day of orientation, it's going to be about 4 hours of classroom time. and they're going to do a lot of work with, and I've got a couple of notes here that Charlie gave me on doing the calculations and understanding the length, width, and a lot of the commodity specs.
Yeah.
And how you figure out how to tie down a load with commodity specs. And then they do about 4 hours of hands-on, and they do a lot of work for folks that have never used things like a removable gooseneck, how to slide tandems on a trailer. Folks that have pulled a 53-foot box, there are variables that you don't have to worry about. But when you're an open deck, and the bigger you grow, you guys know that once you become Class 1 drivers, you're now dealing with 3 axles, expandable trailers. There's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
Wind,
Yeah, just
the
like
wind
when
energy,
we
yeah,
first pulled
blades, yeah.
when we first pulled that expandable RGN, we were both like, "What? What are we supposed to do with this?" And we
But you
were at
figured
the
it out,
bar.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we figured it out.
Yeah.
Well, and I want to go back to this, you guys. The biggest take home that I get from drivers is the fact is whether you've been here for a week or whether you've been here for 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, that no matter where you are in the career path, that there are always resources available. That
Yeah,
you
here
don't
there
ever
is.
get left stranded, and if you make a call, somebody's going to call you back and make sure
Oh,
you're not
yeah.
making a bad
Yes.
choice.
Right, exactly. I mean, like I said before, I've taken pictures of securement and sent them in and say yay or nay. And, if they say no, then they'll tell, we'll actually call you back and tell you a different way you can go about that. So.
Okay, now I'm trying following some of these questions here. So
Yeah, let's start here. So Caitlin's saying congrats, you guys, on your success.
Thanks.
So she's
Thank
from
you, Caitlin.
CES.
hi, Caitlin. Thanks for joining.
All right.
So I see a note replying from Don to Luis. Are you coming company or lease?
So they're talking to each other there.
Okay, so no question there.
Going from food grade tanker. to
Okay,
flat-
I love it. And by the way, to all of our active drivers that are watching right now, and again, Will and Tina, I can't thank you enough for joining us today. And like I said, I never know how long these are going to go, but a big part of this is the engagement that's going on right now. And be clear, when this video is over, we post the video, but comments can still be added. Samantha actually puts this onto YouTube as well, and we can track comments on there because not everybody does Facebook.
No.
Yeah.
And so we're still trying to figure out.
I understand why. So.
Well, anyway, long story
Yeah,
short is this
yeah.
is our platform today, and we're trying to just maintain platforms that allow us to get this out as much as I can. Did you see something, Tina?
How long did it take to move up in classes?
That's a good question.
Yep. Go, you guys go ahead.
Firewood?
It didn't take me long because I had a really good fleet manager in the beginning, and was Brian Frana, and but he eventually moved on to bigger and better things. But yeah, I moved up real quick. And the Class 2 test, it's all open book. It's not that bad. I mean, you just gotta really just focus on what the questions are. I mean, they give you all the tools that you need to make it through there. You get all kind of maps. You can use anything. I mean, you can use your atlas. You can use your phone to look it up on Google, whatever you need. You could use whatever you need to get through your Class 2 test.
Well, and you guys, so here I want to talk through something. So I was seeing some of this bantering going on between Don and Luis. Somebody wrote, "Wow, that's a long time to move up." Folks, it isn't a long time. Listen, if you're doing this as a career, as a profession, you move too fast, bad things happen. And the reality is, so you think about every move that you do, you've got to move 5 loads of that next class. So you go from a Class 4 to a Class 3, a Class 3 to a Class 2, a Class 2 to a Class 1, a Class 1 to a Class 1A, and then you start moving over to the Class 1T, and then if you get into a 13 axle, folks, you just got to realize that takes some time. So if you were to ask me what the average time is to go from a Class 4 to being qualified for heavy haul, it's going to take 2 years.
At least.
At least.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, I've seen
Yeah.
people and listen, one other thing that's important to qualify here is if freight conditions are awesome, if there's a ton of overdimensional freight in the system, you can move up really quick.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but on standard freight, like during COVID and all of the main
man,
plants
it's
shut
horrible.
down, and frankly, you guys are contractors.
Yeah,
I think
it
you
was
guys would
horrible.
agree. We're getting you guys paid as good or better on legal freight than what we used to pay on OD freight.
Yeah.
And so rates are so good right now that we don't need to take a big risky overdimensional load to where you can move something safer, to where you can get more freight in because of the rates being what they are today. Is that right?
Yeah,
Right.
pretty much. Yeah.
So we're not going to chase overdimensional freight unless there's a value to it. But the cool thing is, you guys already learned, we've got probably the best customer base that's out there. I mean, we are the house carriers for pretty much every name that is out there.
Right.
And we do it because of safety. But to go back to the gentleman that made it saying that's kind of taken a long time, listen, safety is where our head is at. Over half of our drivers have got 0 CSA scores, and that's for a reason. And the freight that we get from GE, and I'm not supposed to go through customers' name, but the bottom line is we are the house carriers for pretty much every major manufacturing name that's out there.
Exactly.
And I won't call them out, but the point is, you guys see our trucks going down the road. You don't become house carriers for those kind of customers unless you've got a very, very good safety rating. They've got to know that our drivers take safety above getting the load delivered before it
Right.
should, or having it end up in a ditch, or having somebody get hurt.
Exactly.
Period.
You just take your time.
All right, Jason's got a question about orientation.
Taxi will pick you up. You don't pay for it.
Oh, so Jason, you're a recruiter. You trust me, you're going to be totally taken care of there.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about taxi cab money or anything like that. ATS will walk your hand through. Let's talk about that a little bit. Whether you're coming to St. Cloud or you're going to Porter, Indiana, both fantastic brand new facilities. Rental cars have been a real headache. You guys have been hearing about that nationally. So
Yeah.
we're doing everything we can. Some folks are flying. If we can get the rental cars, we will. But if you're going to an airport, we will provide transportation and tell you exactly what that transportation is going to be. We give you guys EFS checks if you're getting a rental car for your fuel money. We take care of your hotels when you're up here. And I still think that we're one of the only companies that encourages you to bring your spouse with. And Tina, I don't know if that's how you got brought in,
Yes.
but I will tell you that ever since I've been at Anderson, and that's going 31 years, we believe that the spouse or companion is making the same decision, and we want them to be part of the entire onboarding process. So we pay for the spouse to come up, we pay for the meals, they stay in a single room with their spouses. Even if you're coming up single, bottom line is you're going to stay in a room. We're not going to bunk you up with 2 or 3 other drivers like a lot of other folks do.
No.
So
And I actually was able to experience orientation when he went through it. I sat in the whole class orientation, everything.
Beneficial.
well, Luis, I appreciate your candor. So I can give you about 24 EW Wiley drivers that are working for us today. So I don't ever bash competition, but there are differences, and I'm going to say the biggest difference that we have is our safety culture.
Yeah.
That just all there is to it is both good organizations, but I don't think that we're second to none on when it comes to a safety philosophy to where we actually care more about your safety and the safety of the general public than we do about how many dollars we're making. Just all there is to it. Would you guys agree with that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Thanks for having our back, Chad. We appreciate his candor too. All right, Jerry's got a comment.
No, he's right.
Yeah? Okay.
3-axle trailers are heavy haul. Yeah.
Well, that's not actually true. So you can
Oh,
actually
really?
so you can it's a 3-axle trucks
Yeah.
are specialized. 4-axle trucks are heavy haul, but we have many 3-axle trucks pulling 3-axle trailers.
Right. Okay.
So there's a little bit of confusion there, but unless you're talking blades, 3-axle trailers are all heavy haul. That's not a true statement. That we have a lot of 3-axle. We actually have 3-axle flatbeds, 3-axle single drops, 3-axle double drops, 3-axle RGNs that our ATS specialized drivers haul. Right?
Right.
You guys
Yeah.
have done that before.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jerry, just to clarify that, so. It says lease drivers can pull up to 13 axles in a heavy haul. Actually, we got lease drivers pulling 19 axles in heavy haul. So Jerry, and again, I just want to make sure that there's no confusion on all of this, but whether you're a lease driver or a company driver, that title means nothing to us. A lease driver is simply somebody who wants to run their own business as a contractor. A company driver wants to be an employee. The opportunities for whatever job you do here at ATS are exactly the same. So I just want to make sure that folks are clear on that. I'm so glad I got the email from this live today. So Jason, awesome. And you guys, I'm going to beg you. We do this on we put this on a very big call out to say, share this with other people. We want you guys to join. The more direct questions we get and the dialogue, I mean, even like, Mr. Provo, that you came out, it's good to just get clarity because we want to make sure that there's no misleading information into, if there's a disconnect somewhere, we want to do everything we can to
All right.
close that loop.
It looked like someone just put an application in.
Yeah, Brandon.
Woo!
Amen. Can't wait to see it.
Ring the bell.
Yay!
Robbie, we'll let them take care of that one.
So Lewis, this is Robbie. Please ask Joe anything, and then let's connect tomorrow. Yeah. So you guys, I'm really big. And so Jerry, three years is not uncommon whatsoever.
Good job.
Congratulations to you, buddy.
Good job on that one, bro.
We know you, so I hope you know that. So thanks for joining us tonight. But fantastic work. Let's see here. All right, so I'm going to get jumping on here. Do me a favor, Sam. Kind of go through those because I want to keep my talking with you guys.
Yeah.
The end. We did it.
Well, for
We did it
now.
for now.
Okay, for now. So, if you were to give advice, so I know you guys are both flatbed specialized,
Right.
heart to heart, and I want to remind everybody we have just as many van drivers as there is as well.
Yeah.
We've got a fleet of 53 foot. We've got a lot of dedicated freight. We do work for DoD, all of that. The cool part is that a lot of our customers want both flatbed specialized and closed container drivers or closed, van drivers. So the options are yours. The biggest thing I wanted to take the opportunity with Will and Tina is if flatbed specialized is the thing you're going after. And Tina, I thought you were brand new to it, but maybe you just didn't do over-dimensional, just maybe open deck.
Open deck.
Okay, and so the fact that Anderson Trucking, again, we do not train drivers to get their CDL. We absolutely, over 50% of the drivers that join Anderson Trucking, whether you're a company driver or a contractor, have never pulled an open deck trailer before. So do know that the majority of our drivers, I say this proudly, we've grown them.
Yes.
Our heavy haul fleet, we very seldomly hire a driver outside directly in a heavy haul. We kind of rather know that you've gone through the ranks of our safety and our security culture. And so, and Jerry, just like you, the big thing is you work through those steps just like you guys are.
Yeah.
And Will, you can make the decision tomorrow if you wanted to.
Oh, no.
You got to go buy yourself a new truck. But Tina, you're only one class away because you're Class 1A. So the next move for you is or Class 1.
Class 1.
Yeah.
At Class 1A. So the cool thing is that option is now yours. And it's really important to have people understand that the career path, I don't know if you guys know this, but the average tenure of our drivers at ATS, maybe you guys don't even know this, you see drivers coming and going, but at the end of the day for the staple, when you take all of our drivers and the tenure, it's over 5 years that drivers stay with us.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good number.
Yeah.
And for you guys that are in class and are joining us tonight, I've looked at all of your applications and I understand that there are trucking companies that have been lying for the last couple of years on what to expect. But I will tell you that if you're coming to go to work and you not staying home every night is what you're looking for, because we are an over-the-road trucking company.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Amen?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so if your lifestyle is 2 weeks out, the longer you're out, the better. But I'm saying 2 weeks, we can make the money for you. But if the 2 weeks is not something you can live with, unless you're going into one of our small regional pockets,
Right.
the bottom line is we are an over-the-road trucking company, and if that's what you're coming to do, we're here to try to make you successful long term. But we're not for everybody.
Right, you're right.
And we do this for a reason because we don't want to waste your time. We don't want to waste our time.
Right.
We're trying to think that we're selling something that we're not.
Yeah, and it's a growth process. And another awesome thing that's here at ATS is you hardly ever go to the same place twice in a row. You might pick up at this one customer
More
this week
specialized, yeah.
on Specialized. Next week you might pick up something totally different, and it's always something new and exciting. If you're willing to learn, just take your time, be patient about your securement, and there's always people, there's so many resources and always people out there that can answer your questions if you need
Right.
anything about securement. There's
Oh,
plenty
yeah.
of people. You just got to look for it or call in, talk to your fleet manager, call safety, anybody. Just reach out to them. Don't be scared to ask them. Don't be intimidated by asking them, because that's how we stay safe out here for everybody, because in the long run, that's all any of us want, is to be able to get home to our families and be able to see them again.
Yeah.
That is so important.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up that one part. I actually had my fleet manager call me up and had asked if it'd be all right for another driver to call me. He didn't know how to operate a Conestoga.
Yeah.
So I went through the steps with him how to do it, and it happened to be a step deck Conestoga. So, yeah, I mean, that's one thing that that I like about it, because he felt better, going through the steps. I mean, he had the process, but I guess he felt like he needed to have, someone go through it with him. And so, yeah, I mean, don't be afraid to ask help. Don't be afraid to, to do that at all. And that's how you progress, and that's how you, stay safe out here.
Well, what I do want everybody to know that once you join ATS, we actually have an ATS closed group that's only open to our drivers. And Frank, there's a couple of them, but the reality is the way that you guys help and support each other, and it's not just on the professional side. There's a lot of spouses that get involved in that, and how do you stay healthy on the road and all that kind of. I mean, just
that's another
lifestyle.
One. Lifestyle.
You know, and so real quick, Jason, you've been coming with a lot of good questions. So I'm going to be the first one where I don't like to mix hairs on this whatsoever. We govern at 65. When you get to the point when you own your truck, and we don't have any involvement, you can take it to whatever you'd like to, but 65 has been a rule. It's just not something that we're negotiating. We dispatch all of our drivers at 50 miles an hour. We make sure that you got plenty of time. And again, Will and Tina, having you guys here, I love being able to have you guys either say, no, that's not right, or it is right. But we're not a company that you need to run 3,000 miles to make a paycheck. We're actually the exact opposite. You're going to have plenty of time to pick up. You're going to have plenty of time to deliver safely and keep at the speed limit. And we're not going to put you in a position to where you have to feel like you're speeding. I can't help choices, and I sometimes I get in trouble for saying this, but when drivers make choices to not stay on track to a disciplined plan, and they fall behind, and then they need that speed to get caught up, we try to help change that behavior. But 65 is what we're at. And honestly, we don't hear a lot of pushback from it. I think actually we train you on why that's so important. And once you get that safety mentality down, most of you guys embrace that pretty good, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
I dropped a link to the Facebook group for the drivers. So if anyone wants to click on that.
okay.
Oh yeah, that's great. There's a bunch of drivers that'll help you on that.
Now is that your guys's?
Nope. That's the.
I would put
That's a driver run.
Yeah, so I would put them on the ATS map because that's the one that the Andersons come on a regular basis. So I'd be putting that one out there instead.
I'll drop both.
Okay, good deal. So you guys, we kind of covered what securement training is all about. So again, to kind of do a recap, usually we go about 30 minutes on these. We've gone a little bit longer than that, but
That's cool.
like I said, I appreciate you guys for staying here for me. We never cut these off. As long as I got good questions coming in, we keep on going. But for everybody that's out there, Will and Tina, anything that we didn't talk about that you think is important for the folks that are considering ATS to consider? I mean, a couple of folks are out there saying we're kicking tires, wondering if I'm going to go here, if I'm going to go there. Any personal thoughts that you like to share?
With me, yes, especially being female. I know this is very rare brought up this day and time, and I'll get that out there first. But as far as me, myself, being comfortable here, even in the beginning, talking to the recruiter, it's just like we're talking now. Everything was open. Everything they told me in the beginning was spot on when I come through the door, and still is to this day. And we have yet to ever, and I say that ever, knock on wood, I don't think it'll ever happen anyway, but we have yet to ever have to chase down our pay. We have actually had loads paid to us that we forgot. when we first started, yeah, when we first started, we had loads. We were like, how did we get this much money on this week's check? And we called in.
That's one thing that's exactly one thing I can say. I've never had to chase down our pay whatsoever.
No, we never, and as far as any question we've ever had, we've called in and it's been answered either by our fleet manager or they have asked someone and got back with us. I mean, there's no questions here that have been unanswered. I mean, anything that we have done, we've been comfortable. I mean, it's literally like family here.
Yeah.
They know you first name. They may not always get your first name right in the beginning, but they will recognize your face and say hello, and they won't avoid you and unless you do something really ugly. No, you can't.
Well, like I said, granted, I mean, we've gotten our answers, and I'll be honest, I've I haven't liked some of them, but it is what it is, you know, in the end. And they have their reasons why certain things are done this way because they've had bad experiences in the past.
Yeah.
And so they've had to know to make policies like that. So,
Good.
you
But
know.
I mean, even with the securement training as a female, I felt like everybody else. I wasn't singled out. I mean, I wasn't treated any different than any of the guys that were out there securing with me that day in
Right.
orientation. In orientation, we were all equal, and that's something to me is very rare because I've been in trucking a long time. I'm not gonna say how long, but it's been a while because then I'll tell my age, and I'm not gonna do that.
Don't ask me. I like to live.
But we go.
The weight is heavy sometimes.
Yes,
isn't
it is. Some secrets you gotta keep to yourself.
Oh, that's funny.
But
Oh.
it is comfortable, and any question you have, you can ask anybody. Even if you're just thinking about coming over here, you haven't made that initial application yet, or you haven't talked to a recruiter yet, call ATS. Call them and ask somebody. Ask
Right.
to talk to someone. They don't mind answering questions, and especially you newer guys, girls that are out there doing securements. If you get hung up and you say, I really don't want to call in and bug nobody, please bug them.
Thank you for that. Yep.
Yeah.
Call them. If you have
Mhm.
any inkling that maybe something's not right, or I'm not sure that I've put enough securement on, I may have put too much, just call, send a picture, get in touch with somebody. Just ask someone. Don't just take off down the road and say it's going to be okay, because it may not be. And then
Right.
ultimately, if you get stopped by DOT or an officer down the road, then all that responsibility falls on the driver, not the company. Just remember that part. Please ask somebody for help if you need it. They will give it to you.
Yeah, one of the things that I do, and when it comes to securing, I mean, I know Charlie tells you to take the amount of the load and add two to it, and you'll get how much securement it is. I think about my family, and I always secure like my family's going to be out there on the road. It doesn't matter whose family out there. You know, if you feel like, you know, you've got 6 securements, you want to put 2 more, go ahead. No one's going to say anything about that. You know, and that's the biggest thing, you know. At the end of the day, I mean, it's what you make of it. I mean, you can thrive here or you don't. I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, sound any type of negative or anything, but there, yeah, like you said, Chad, there's never too much securement, and ultimately you're in charge of that load. And
Long time ago, I heard that if there was ever going to be an incident and that trailer ever disconnects from the truck, that load should not leave the trailer.
Yeah.
It might leave the fifth wheel of the kingpin, but that's about it. So
yeah, my biggest issue is that when I'm putting my straps down, I might do them a little too tight.
it happens. Well, so you guys listen again. You know, we know that these things can tend to go a little bit long. I love having surprise guests. Again, Will and Tino, thank you guys. And again, just
He has a really good valid question.
Luis.
Yeah.
get over the fear of your first flatbed. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell her the story.
Oh.
I can tell you that story really good. Because the first load this wonderful man booked for us was a Cold Springs load on my first flatbed load.
17 stops.
17 stops during Holy Week.
Sorry. I just snorted.
If you can get over that, he said you can get it. Somebody told me you can get over anything. But as far as getting over the fear of it, the more you do, and the
Yeah.
more comfortable you make yourself by saying, hey, I'm going to call and ask somebody if this is okay. I'm going to go down the road with this trip. Have it in mind, if you want to succeed, that be your goal, that you make from point A to point B safely, and you get your load delivered. Once you get over that, you'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
Because nobody can tell you there's an easy way to get over the fear of something. Everybody has to do that themselves because everybody's different.
And I honestly, you guys, the truth is, anything that's new is going to always be a little bit edgy.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Louis, bottom line, if you listen to the training we give you, and you've done what we've taught you to do, and you double check it, triple check it,
Take your
and you
time.
pull out, you're going to be just fine.
Yes.
And just realize, use the training that we have. The majority of the incidents that happen out there, folks, things are going to happen, but statistically, the stuff that happens, it's typically driver error. And you know, we get to watch videos all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And if you just slow it down and are the ones that you just use the tools that we gave you, the safety methodology that we've taught you, it's going to work out good. And then the confidence grows because it's not just that first flatbed load, it's that first 16-foot load where you're taking up 2 lanes. And every one of those is a step, but that's why you don't jump up in class, because it's just not reasonable to get comfortable. We don't want to take you out of your comfort level. We want to keep you on your toes, however.
Right. Exactly.
You ever want to get so comfortable that you start getting sloppy?
Complacent.
Yeah.
So
And also too, the best thing that I think ATS could have come up with is the app. I mean, it has a lot of information on there. They got securement videos on there for you, Luis, that you can keep studying and looking at and watching, helping you to get more confidence in what you're doing. I mean, just about anything you could think of is on that app. And you know, just keep you know, studying. And if you've got questions, call safety. Jody he'd love to talk to you. I mean, Jody's a really good guy. Very knowledgeable. He's got 3 million miles driver here. I mean, if you guys want to really want to know, you new guys, when you come into the glass house to see how successful our drivers are, look on the wall. You'll walk down the side walls.
what do we call it?
The million mile
The
Hall of Fame. Yeah,
the wall of fame.
Wall of Fame.
It's our
yeah.
million milers, and folks, it's not 1 or 2.
No,
We
both
build a
sides.
lot of million milers, and for anybody who doesn't know what a million milers, it's a million miles safe driving. We've got 5 million milers.
Yeah.
So we got a ton of million milers, quite a few 2 million milers. But you start getting to the 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
We got them. But
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you really want to be something like that and join something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you
know what? Well, we're ending on that.
Okay.
That's the way you end a show like this. So it's not a show, but you know, listen, you guys, we are looking for the best, and I'm going to tell you now that you guys probably may not buy this, but we are only looking at about 5% of the applications that come in. We are looking for the top 5% of the drivers that are out there. We believe that we've been successful at doing that, and again. So we're saying no to 95% of the drivers because we don't believe that we are the right fit for them and that we're where they want to be. But if you're that 5% to where being an over-the-road driver professionally for a company that safety matters over
Right.
everything else.
Yeah.
And listen, three-legged stool. I'm going to end it with a three-legged stool. You've always heard me talking about keeping an eye on the three-legged stool. Money. Nobody's coming to work for anybody because without the fact that they got to have a paycheck. So
Exactly.
we know that money is a no-brainer. You guys got to make money. When you ask for home time, we're going to make sure you get your home time. And the third thing is respect. And those 3 things working side by side. The respect is probably the biggest part because that's the communication. That's the answering your questions. That's making sure the resources are there for you. Making sure that I think you guys have also realized we don't take a lot of unnecessary drama pushback. We're not here to manage a bunch of kids. We're here to work with a bunch of professionals. So
Yes.
we hold our drivers accountable.
Yeah.
But I think you guys probably have a greater respect for us too than for
Oh,
that
yeah.
because it's
Yes.
a two-way, right?
Yeah, it's a two-way street.
So you guys, listen. I'm getting tired. I'm the old guy. We'll be here again we're here next Wednesday again at 7. I can't beg everybody enough for this though, folks. We're always asking for content. Will and Tina being able to talk through. I mean, I'm glad that I had this idea and the fact that this came together. So again, it was only 6 hours ago that I said, hey, how would you guys like to join me? But thanks for showing up with us. What do you got?
They were
Personal
asking about
conveyance.
PC. There's
Walmart
only
dedicated.
Yeah, there's
Oh.
only.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Louise.
Yeah, so bottom line, for any of the questions that we didn't get to on this, we do come back and make sure that we have not missed a one. So we're not trying to avoid any. And I think this one that just came over from Andy, can we get more time on our PC? I'm on Walmart dedicated. So listen, what I will tell you is I will get with you on a side note, because the situation that you're asking about is not kind of broad, it's more specifically to you. So we'll be glad to reach back out to you and chat with you. And your question is important, but I think that's more of a one-on-one discussion on, you know that freight is always moving. There are times where that seasons get a lot busier than others. And so, but we'll reach back out to you for sure by tomorrow morning. And I might call you with your fleet manager, Andy, if that's cool with you.
Do you have a pet in your truck? Yes, I do.
Well, so we got a general question. We're just kind of polling right now. So if you guys haven't heard yet, Anderson Trucking Service just announced a new pet policy for our company drivers. So
Right.
you guys are contractors, so you guys are the spoiled ones in the eyes of the company driver, that you guys can always bring a pet. But our company drivers finally get that opportunity to be able to bring pets on board with Anderson Trucking. So that's kind of a new announcement. But again, folks, listen, for our active drivers, man, I love my drivers. You got Will and Tina. I love you guys even more because you're right here.
Right.
But no, listen, Chad, all you guys, Jerry, I just so much appreciate you guys joining. And it's really good for the drivers that are on here that are kicking tires, like I said, looking at the options. We really do think we're the real deal, and we try to keep it open and transparent as we can. Again, share this. Invite folks to come next Wednesday. And please give us topics that you want to talk about, because there are times that I'm spinning my wheels on what do we want to keep it fresh, we want to keep it new,
Sure.
and we don't want to keep talking about the same boring stuff. So ask us those challenging questions, and 100% we will cover them. So again, thank you for joining ATS Live tonight. Will and Tina, big thank you to you guys for taking the time.
No
and
problem. Thank you.
Hopefully you get some sleep tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
And we can say it now. Roll Tide.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay.
Roll Tide, people.
All right, everybody. Take care.
SEC.